Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to another episode of LA Noire. We officially on the arson death cases. I think this is the final section of the game, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, in the last episode it was found out that Cole was indeed cheating on his wife with some German woman that we saw in the last episode. And now he's up for review in December. So it's all going downhill for Cole. So now he's on arson desk until then. We've got a new partner, Herschel Biggs. He doesn't seem to be too happy. We now have to investigate 2 house fires. So let's not waste any time. Let's do that.
You're behind the wheel.
Let's go to the Stephens.
Exactly are we going?
To the Stephens house fire. He doesn't seem too happy that we're his partner, because he didn't do partners. But here's what it is.
How long have you been working arson?
We gonna do the small talk thing now? Talk baseball, exchange addresses? I don't think so. Feeling down, hotshot? Need a buddy? Or look somewhere else?
Yeah, okay. Well, good start. I'm pretty sure no one's going to like Cole now to find out what he did. But it is what it is. We're at the Stephens house fire, 9:01 AM.
There isn't much left.
There never is if the job's done properly.
You think it was deliberate?
Nah, that's real pain in her face. They would have moved out the things they care about if this was insurance. There's no mileage in this. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Hirsch. Cap this one.
Yeah, Mike Brannigan, Cole Phelps. It's okay, Brannigan. His name may be dog shit, but there's none on his hand.
No offense, Phelps.
None taken. Do you have anything?
The fire started late last night. Steffen's family at Catalina Island. Won some kind of competition. Looks like the only thing they ever won in their lives. And they come home to this.
I'd say they were pretty lucky, really.
They don't have any insurance. Everything they own, including the house, is not a pile of rubble.
Where are they?
Yikes.
In the car. Lucky the whole block didn't burn down. Word is they're bulldozing this whole neighborhood to build new homes for GIs. That's the man in the house. In the ruins. Terry lady is his wife.
We'll take a look around. Come on, Phelps.
Okay. Is there anything around here?
That lady they found under the train, he solved the case. Booked some barfly for the murder.
Recently serviced. Could be something to go on.
Franklin Manning, John Thing, and 3 Matthew Ryans. Okay.
Mr. Stephens? Cole Phelps and Herschel Biggs, LAPD. I know it's a difficult time, but could we have a word?
Don Stephens.
You were out of town.
We won a prize. We had a wonderful time. Came home to this.
Do you still have the tickets?
Sure.
It's a formality, but we'll need to speak to the issuing agent. Can you tell me any more about the prize that you won, Mr. Stephens?
Weekend at Catalina Island. My wife got this flyer in the mail from the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Alright. Good answer.
Did you enter any kind of competition?
My wife filled in a flyer. This lady just rung up and told us we won. It's the first time I ever won anything.
The Redevelopment Fund. Did they offer to buy you out?
They're building new houses. They showed their money and most of the neighborhood just packed up and walked away. But I never bargained with them.
I mean, you know, bargain with them. Oh god.
Everyone else is selling, but you're the holdout, aren't you?
I was the last. I thought I could hold out for a better price. My house is the center lot.
So now you have to take the price regardless.
Looks like it. I've got no choice. I have to put a roof over my family.
That's all we need for the moment, Mr. Steffens.
All right.
What's with him?
You've seen the papers. I guess he's thinking about his own family. I'd say he's searching for some kind of atonement right now.
You can drive.
Alright,
All right. Where to?
let's go to the other house. Where you going? You going freaking that I was gonna drive? Yeah, hell
Have
no.
there been any other house fires?
This is arson. We get an average of 2 a night. Does that answer your question?
Alright, yep. I mean, kinda does answer my question, yeah. So thanks, dickhead. But why does no one like me? I know what I did and all. But like freaking I think Bukowski was the only one who actually liked me. The other two were dickheads, and this guy wasn't helping either. Alright, 9:06 AM.
Hi, Albert. We've caught this case.
Hey, Biggs. We? You have a partner? What gives?
This is Cole Phelps. You may have read about him.
Oh, now I get it. Hello, Phelps. Welcome to the netherworld of arson.
Thanks.
Family of 4 found dead in their beds.
Oh,
Heater exploded.
Hey, another one.
Looks that way. Insta-Heat Model 70. Before you get excited, we get a couple of water heaters a month go back. Take a look around the yard and see what you can find.
alright, can I go through? No, I can't go through there. Oh dear.
Al. You gonna stick it out, Cole?
I'm gonna try, Mal. What have you got?
Family by the name of Sawyer. Mother, father, and 2 kids. All in bed
Yikes.
from the looks of it. Oh, I'd say carbon monoxide poisoning. The burns are superficial.
Time of death.
I'd say about midnight. Anything more exact will take some time to determine. Lynch tells me this has something to do with a faulty water heater.
Could be. There's been a spate of problems with a particular brand. I've got another angle in mind.
You care to elucidate, Detective? This is a murder and not an accident. Sharing information has helped us solve quite a few cases together.
I need something concrete, Mal, before the department gets wind of it. I'm in arson for a reason.
I feel sorry for your wife and kids, Phelps, not for you. But you're a good case man. One of the best I've ever met. I'll
Thanks.
help in any way I can.
Thanks, Mal. I'd say that's firm but fair.
He's one fella still kind of respects me. Poor family.
I'll bet the insurance companies write these incidents up as acts of God.
Poor fucking family, honestly. Is there anything? There's stuff around here.
Hey, Biggs! Is this significant?
Regulator valve. Good find.
Detectives? This is the next door neighbor.
Detective Phelps, can you help?
They were supposed to be going away. They won a trip somewhere. But little Henry got sick, so they had to cancel. What are the chances?
Do you know who ran the competition?
Gulliver's Travel, up on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
That's the same company for the other house.
Phelps, the guy across the street. I've seen him before. He likes fire.
Hurry, you can still catch him.
You like fires, do you? Come back here, dickhead.
Stop! LAPD!
See,
We've got an ID on these firebugs. Stop right there!
Right, come here. Bro, I'm literally there, bruv. Hello?
A family died in that fire. We need to ask some questions.
Hey!
How dare
Come on, you're not a fight.
I mean, I forgot how to fight. Oh!
you lousy piece of shit.
Go on, Cole. Yeah, I wasn't about to fall for that. I knew he was hiding, so I went over and he forgot to
What's
fight.
your name?
Herbert Chapman.
So you like fires.
Some.
Watching them or setting them?
I don't want any trouble.
Turn out your pockets.
You're a naughty boy, aren't you, Herbert?
I keep myself to myself.
Huh.
Cigarette in a matchbox gives you a 5 or 6 minute delay. You want more time, you use a mosquito coil. Don't you, Herbert?
You like this fire, Herbert?
Hell no. I heard it over the fire radio. Sounded sweet.
When you finish following your leads, come and see me at the fire station. I have a theory about this.
Will do, Lynch. Take this guy in. We might want him for questioning later.
You got it, Detective.
Why have you got such a hard-on for this case? If it is murder, it's almost impossible to prove. Fire doesn't leave much evidence. There's no percentage in this.
I think it's more than one case.
They're house fires, Cole. Accidents, heater fires, gas explosions.
There's got to be a reason.
The reason is you want to be a star again. Forget it. Give it up. You'll feel better.
There's something to this. I know it.
What are you talking about? Arson is insurance. It's always been insurance.
We still investigate the cases, Biggs. The people in this house are dead.
Go soak your head, Phelps. This hero business is a full-time obsession with you.
I'm gonna make this case. I'm gonna rub the department's nose in it. Help me or stay out of my way. You got it? You heard
Yeah.
of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
I've seen their billboards.
Hang on.
Is it run by the government or by the city?
Wait. Phone. Phone. Phone, phone, phone.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
How can I help, Detective?
I need information on the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Yes, Detective. Just checking. The fund is a semi-government agency established to speed up the building of GI homes. It has private investors as well as a government endowment.
Huh. You have an address for them?
There is one listed here, corner of Beverly and Mariposa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Anyway. Yeah, you thought I was driving, dickhead.
You know the way. You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
Gulliver's Travel place. Since they also won a competition, but these people died. The other people got lucky. Do they have anything to do with this? I suppose we'll have to find out. They are suspects. They are definitely suspects. Since the families both won competitions there, and then the house goes boom. Questionable. Very, very questionable. Gulliver's Travel Agency, 9:33 AM.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD.
John Cunningham. Can I help you, gentlemen?
We have reason to believe that the Sawyer family of 4414 Rosewood Avenue recently won a competition run by your company.
Yes, I remember them. They called up to cancel at the last minute. One of the kids was sick. Very unfortunate.
Do you mind if I take a look at that?
Stephens.
Here they are. Stephens.
And then Sawyer's.
The Sawyer family. Rosewood Avenue. Tell us about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
There's not much to tell. They run a promotion. Our promotion's mailing list covers half of LA.
Okay. Anything else
So
to
they
add?
are not a government agency?
I don't believe so. Government organizations don't usually get involved in promotions.
That's fair enough.
I'm told the tickets were a prize. Yes, they were. You do a lot of these prizes. Look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat.
Yeah, but how come freaking both the houses got burnt down, huh? Anything else you got to say about that?
While the Sawyer family were supposed to be at Catalina Island, their house burnt down. You consider them lucky? Christ. I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me who offered the prize won by the Sawyer family? Sure. Look, there's supposed to be some sort of supervised draw with hundreds of tickets. But the reality is the Suburban Redevelopment Fund calls me every couple of weeks and tells me exactly who has won. Thanks for your help. No problem. Wish I could do something for that family. You could put round the hat. A few bucks would really help them now. I suppose so.
Good. I'll put you down for 50. I could tell you were a Samaritan the minute I walked in the door.
50? Are you? Good man, Cunningham. You're all right. Yeah, I'm great. Poorer, but great.
You know, doesn't that type of family out? Like, excuse me, sir. Yeah, in your dreams, mate.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
In your dreams, lad.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Continue to respond.
Let me guess. You want to check out the Suburban address?
Yep.
Great partners must think alike, Herschel.
Great partners. Pfft. Now, can Kelso come to Arson, please? Anyway, when I go into the Suburban I'm gonna call it that. The Suburban place. See what happens. Development site. Hello.
This is supposed to be the registered offices of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
This is an Elysian housing development, Mac.
So Elysian is an investor in the Redevelopment Fund.
Looks that way.
Are we done here, Mac? I've got work to do.
Sure, buddy. Thanks for your help. Elysian are investors in the Suburban Redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind.
Well, that worked.
Lynch says we should visit him at Fire Station 32.
Well, we're going there then, aren't
Who
we?
exactly is this guy, Lynch?
Lynch is a legend. You should feel privileged. He doesn't let many people into the inner sanctum. Keep your mouth shut, and you'll learn something about fires.
Alright, fair. If you say so, I'll take your word for it. You seem to know a lot about fires and this fella, so I'll keep your word for it. Biggs, dickhead. Anyway. Fire station number 32. 11:20 AM.
We came as soon as we could.
Lynch.
Biggs, you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
Huh.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Right, can I put that back there, please?
Good, your regulator's in position.
Okay. And pick up this thing. Put there.
Okay, I'll light your pilot and turn the gas on.
You pull the lever on the left.
Yep, pull this lever.
So that's how it's being done.
Maybe. There could be a fault with these valves. I've adjusted this one for our experiment, but you need to take it to InstaHeat and see what they say. Their headquarters is on North Harvard Boulevard, number 262.
Thanks, Albert.
You're welcome, Biggs. See you at the next show.
Alright, thank you,
don't
sir.
see that every day.
No, you do not.
You can drive.
All right. Where to?
Into the heat factory. Let's go.
Show?
The next fire. We should go to the factory and see how many of these things are going bang in the night.
You know this Chapman character?
The guy's a freak. Loves fires. He's the kind of guy that we'd like for a lot of things, but we don't really have any credible evidence to pursue him with.
Into the heat factory. 2:35 PM. Bloody hell.
LAPD detectives, ma'am. We need to speak to someone in charge.
I see. Well, duty manager for today is Mr. Rasick. You should find him in his office.
Thank you.
Peanuts are walking down the street.
She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
Is it, excuse me, Cole.
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson. We're investigating a couple of house fires. What can you tell us about this?
Pressure regulator from a Model 70. Let me take a look. We have a problem. This has been tampered with.
What?
Ah!
You see this diaphragm? It forms a seal across the saddle here. Gas flows across from here to here. The diaphragm regulates flow. It's been reversed. It's a subtle change, but it means the gas never closes off properly.
I knew it was a
So
murder.
you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
You don't think there's wrong when frickin' it's kill people. Hello?
You're telling me that you've never had any problems with this heater?
Look, we've changed the design since the Model 70.
These things are still being installed?
It's the demand. None of us could keep up with the amount of housing going up. At the budget end, we're still using some of the old stock. We are installing 100 heaters a week. They're not all faulty.
They're not all safe either.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
Yeah, I think you're lying. Voice crack. Okay, ignore that. Nice. As I was saying, I think you're lying.
I think you're lying, Rasick. I think some of your men aren't fully licensed. You're desperate to cover your sales.
And how are you going to prove that, Detective?
Oh, really?
Name me one of my guys who would have overlooked a fault.
Hold on. Alright. This one.
What about Reginald Varley?
Reginald Varley.
You know about Varley. He's on the run for a divorce interstate. It's not so bad.
You in the habit of hiring criminals, Rasick?
I need guys, Detective. This boom is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There. Around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
This is a long shot. We are not going to roust that whole list.
Ryan Matthew, he was on the
I want to run it by R&I. Cross-reference for arsonists.
Wasn't
See if
Ryan
any of
Matthew
these
on the
guys have any
lists
previous.
before?
Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
Was that just me?
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Cutner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter. Previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew. Charged for contempt of court. Attempted murder. Plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady.
Aha!
Your employment roster is quite the rogues gallery, Mr. Rasick. Desperate times indeed.
Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
Thank you, Biggs. Actually, have me for once.
Here. Happy now?
Stick around, Mr. Rasick.
Clemens is a fellow traveler.
He is indeed.
Some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine. Ryan wants the world to be a better place, don't we all?
Nick, his name Matthew Ryan at the Stefan's house was on that boiler thing.
The company went through thousands of these in the war. Still got eaten alive. Varley has a problem with bugs.
You know that a mosquito coil takes an hour to burn down, Rasick?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the favorite choice of ignition by arsonists. Gives them time to get away.
You're crazy. He probably lives near the canals in Venice. Mind if I leave you to it? I got work waiting.
Am I going that way? No, I don't need to go this way. No,
Three
wait.
words. Clemens, Ryan, Varley. Where to, Phelps?
I thought this was such a nice...
Where to? So I'll find out, but I'm pretty sure Matthew Ryan's name was on like that little boiler place at the Stefan's house. Unless I'm going crazy. And he was one of the 3 names mentioned. So you never know. Let's go on here then. Who's this fella? What was he up to?
You know the way. You can
Let's
drive.
go to Clemens.
Where exactly are we going?
So we're going to interview all of them, unless we go to Clemens and he confesses, or we find out it was him who did it. But until then, we won't know. Clemens's work site, 6:30 p.m. Excuse me, sir.
Biggs, LAPD. We want some answers and we want them quick.
Okay, okay. What's this all about? Just tell me what you want.
You know Reginald Varley?
No? Can't say I do.
Well, you do. You both work at the same place.
Detroit PD is after Reginald Varley for murder. You want us to run you in for aiding and abetting Clemens?
Whoa, 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 whoa. All I know about Varley is he gets kickbacks from some developer. Does their work first. Spreads it around if he can.
You were licensed and worked for InstaHeat?
I contract for them. So what?
Oh, come on. Give me some more, fam.
Hires arsonists, does it?
I've worked as a fitter all my life. Put everything I had into that house. And my fucking mud shark of a wife gets awarded in settlement. She's blowing spics 2 at a time while I'm at work. And she gets the house. Yeah, I burnt it all right. Set fire to that fucker and watched it burn to the ground. I did my time and I'd do it again.
Sorry about the Rouse, Clemens. You did the right thing.
Do you know Matthew Ryan?
No. Don't know the name.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
You and Ryan are fifth columnists.
And how do you figure that, wise guy? What proof do you have? Been following me to meetings?
No, but it's your Arcanist thing.
We found a pamphlet in your locker, Clemens. We can add your name to the register. HUAC might want to interview you.
That shit was from Ryan. He's always pushing that shit on people. Drives me nuts. He's got it in for the company.
All right, Clemens. You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
So where do you want to go?
We're going to go to Reginald Varley. It's either him or Matthew Ryan. I'm still pushing more towards Ryan because his name is at the bottom.
Varley's on the run. He might be packing heat. If he's wanted for murder, I say we take the doubt out of the equation and let him have it.
You nervous?
It's been a while.
You were in combat.
In 1917. You know, I never fired my weapon in the line of duty.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. I hope your piece is still serviceable, Herschel.
I may be old and out of practice, but I'm still a Marine, Phelps.
It would be better for our case if we could bring him in, Herschel.
Yeah, makes sense. We can't just kill him. Because what if he's just the, what if he is the bad guy and we can't bring him in for questioning on why he did it? Varley's worksite, 6:56 p.m.
LAPD, Varley! Stop or I'll shoot!
I forgot to say, where's this man going? Go around here. I'll fill it.
Come on, Varley! You can't keep running forever!
Hey, what the hell?
Stop or I will shoot!
Cole. Well, yeah, Cole the Invincible.
Why did you run from us, Varley?
I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're the same Reginald Varley the Detroit police have an outstanding warrant on. How am I doing so far?
I need a lawyer before I talk to any of you.
Reginald Varley, you're under arrest for committing a series of arsons. You're also under arrest for murder. Detroit PD will be putting in a request for your extradition. Until then, your guest is.
Arson? You can't hang that rap on me.
Be quiet. Be thankful we don't shoot you.
Are all the cops in this town crazy?
Take him away, officer.
I mean, I literally got ran over, but went through it like a boss.
You're behind the wheel.
All right. Where to?
Oh, I was literally right there. I could have literally drove there. Okay, buddy. Well, yep. Matthew Ryan.
Matthew Ryan?
Who's asking?
Detective Phelps and Biggs. Arson squad.
Arson?
You heard the man.
Let's just put this stuff in the car and I'll be right with you.
Hold it, Ryan. I said,
son of a bitch.
Yep, like this is inevitable, isn't it?
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
He's a one-man wrecking ball.
Move in. I'll take out the van. Get in close and steer him off the tar.
He's going to kill those men.
They'll get out of the way.
Only if they hear him coming.
Close in, Phelps. We need to take Ryan down before he hurts somebody. No, you gotta get me closer. Smash the son of a bitch's rear wheels. I'll go for the tires. That ought to slow the son of a bitch down.
He's got an arson-related assault charge, and he's running.
Running don't mean nothing. We gotta get this guy in a room before we can get an angle on him.
This man has got to be stopped.
show me your hands. Why did you run, Ryan?
I was scared.
You got a reason to be scared, Ryan?
Matthew Ryan, I'm arresting you on suspicion of committing a series of arsons.
This guy's sus. Vote him out. Get in the van, dickhead. No need to run. Could have made our life way easier, but nope. You decided to run and be a dickhead.
We have 3 suspects. As much as I'd like it to be, Chap,
you know the way.
I think
You
it's
can
one
drive.
of the other 2 guys.
Let's go to the police station.
And close this case.
Yep. Let's do that. I agree with your statement. Let's go back to the police station and question the 3 fellas. Actually, no, 2 fellas. No, it's 3. I'm done. Because it's Ryan, Varley, and Albert, I think his name is. So questioning them 3. I'm still pulling towards Matthew Ryan. 7:30 PM. Wilshire. Police station.
I have 2 suspects.
Phelps, you got nothing. Biggs, Ryan's waiting for you in interview 1. Varley's in 2.
Hey, Hopkins, you practicing your asshole routine again? Come on, Phelps.
Yeah, thank you.
Isn't that the cop that caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
Save yourself some time and get this thing off your chest.
If that's your opening gambit, you better try again.
So you want to change the world, Ryan?
Yes, I do. So does every reasonable person.
And you're doing your part?
Yes, I am.
Does that include sabotaging water heaters to destroy a company?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you
This
do.
is industrial sabotage, Ryan. It's all part of your campaign.
You're delusional, detective. What campaign?
Oh, what campaign? The anarchist
Your locker
thingamabob.
is full of pamphlets.
Pamphlets.
Clemens told us how you were always foisting them on people.
Sure. I spread the pamphlets. A guy has to do something. Insta-heat heaters break down every day. They're still peddling the same lousy design that they lifted from Hephaestus.
Instaheat bought out Hephaestus?
Them, Vulcan, Pyro, and a bunch of other companies.
And you still work for them.
A guy has to work.
And the directors of the company. How do you feel about them these days?
You work it out.
You know how to reverse a diaphragm in the regulator valve of a Model 70 heater?
No, I don't.
Yeah, piss off, lad.
If you know enough to do your job, you know enough to do that repair. You're lying, Ryan.
And how do you think you can prove that?
This dude.
Your boss at InstaHeat said that you've all been trained to do it. It's a common repair. Are you calling him a liar?
Ha!
Okay, so I know how it's done. But what would be the point? You'd just end up with a gas leak and then a small fire when you turn the pilot back on.
And if you didn't reset the pilot and the gas spread, what was the cause of the fire in your own home, Ryan?
I won't tell you.
What can you tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nothing.
Okay, you're starting to get on my nerves.
I think Suburban is a front for your anarchist buddies. They're arranging for people to be out of town while you burn their houses down.
Suburban? What's that got to do with me? That's Farley's bilk. He's the one with the cozy agreement with those fascists.
You have a history of violence.
I have no such thing.
You were charged with attempted murder, Ryan.
It was a court case.
Still.
No criminal liability was the verdict. They said that they couldn't have known that the faulty heater installation would cause a fire. All I know is I lost my whole family. And the company that was responsible got away with it. What would you do?
Which company?
Hephaestus Water Heater Company.
That's it for the moment, Ryan.
So I can go?
Sure. As soon as your red friends storm the building and carry out, you'll keep your seat until we decide how long to lock you up for, knucklehead.
Yeah, I'm not going to charge him immediately.
Get fresh whenever he pleases.
I think Ryan is our man. But procedure says we eliminate all of the suspects. Let's speak to Varley.
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
I'm praying that those prints come through so I can nail that son of a bitch.
We have Matthew Ryan in custody, Varley. I think all we need to do is ask him about this, and he'll rat you out.
Fuck Ryan, that pinko bastard.
Have you ever worked on a place on Rosewood Avenue? Family by the name of Sawyer?
Maybe. I'm from out of town. I go where they send me. I don't do a lot of repairs, though.
Can you speak normally, please? Because of that, I'm going to accuse you.
Why are you lying to me, Varley?
Because why are you lying to me,
Suburban
fam?
Once their new installation's completed, why are you bothering with wrecks like the Sawyer house?
So I'm lying just because I can't remember if I was there or not? How can you prove that I was?
Because the heater's serviced by you, dickhead.
Your name is on the inside door of their water heater.
Okay. You got me there. Suburban, yeah, they wanted that guy out. Sawyer kept complaining about not being able to get his heater service, so they threw in a free service as a sweetener. I think he played him, though. Because he still wouldn't sell.
Word is, you're in the pocket of some property developer?
Never. I got principles.
Yeah, I'm supposed to believe you, fam.
How did Suburban put the squeeze on you? Did they find out about your record?
There's no way you can link me to Suburban. You're wasting your time.
Well, what about the statement I got from Matthew Ryan?
Ryan says you offered to cut him in on the kickbacks they were offering. He'll testify in court.
Suburban, they got real time pressure on getting some of the big developments finished. There's some big date that they can't afford to miss. So yeah, I took their money. But so did a lot of guys, all right? Carpenters, electricians, plumbers. It's no big conspiracy.
What would reversing the diaphragm of an InstaHeat Model 70 do?
Yeah, I made that mistake before. You get a big bang when you turn the pilot back on.
So you didn't deliberately sabotage the water heater at the Sawyer house?
No, I did not. You out of your mind?
I don't believe you.
Varley. I think Suburban wants homeowners who don't want to sell out of the way.
I think you're out of your mind. Where is the evidence that I have done anything to contribute to this fire, huh?
The mosquito coils in your locker.
Arsonists use cigarettes and mosquito coils as time delay fuses. We found an open box of mosquito coils in your locker.
Whoa, hang on. Those things, they belong to Ryan, all right? He asked me to hold them because his locker's full of stupid pamphlets. I thought he used them for camping.
I'm gonna leave.
We're done for now.
So what happens?
You're either going back to Detroit to face a murder rap, or you're staying here to answer for these arsons.
Yeah, the bum took a swipe at me. Put him down with my sap.
Hello, sir. You know, as much as I'd like to charge the other guy, Farley, he seemed to be pretty damn sure of what he was saying. So you know what? Matthew Ryan, I am charging you with the murder.
Matthew Ryan, I'm charging you with committing a series of arsons and for the murders of Hank Sawyer, Edwina Sawyer, Henry Sawyer, and Jessica Sawyer.
You're putting an innocent man away here. You hear me? I didn't set any fires. I didn't kill that family.
Phelps, what you did to your wife and kids was un-American.
My wife threw me out.
Did I ask for your opinion? You're here to listen to mine. What I was going to say, before I was interrupted, was you did a good job on the Stephen Sawyer case. We don't often get results in arson, so well done.
What about me? Do I get a little stamp on my hand or a lollipop or something?
What you get is another case. A bad one, unfortunately.
Great. See, I had that sneaking suspicion of Matthew Ryan, and I got it right. Matthew Ryan fronts a grand jury with 4 murder charges around his neck. Unlucky! Anyway. Another flashback for Cole.
You're 2 blocks behind 1st and 2nd.
We have more buildings to clear. You know our orders,
There's
Sergeant.
barely a building left standing or not on fire in your zone, Cole. Is your sector full of Japs?
Questioning my command.
The captain doesn't want anyone falling behind.
Tell the captain we will join him when the job is done.
Just give us the word, Sarge. We'll take care of him. He should be sectioned. That Jap lover's a fucking liability.
We're here to kill Japs, not our own people.
Star-crossed son of a bitch. No one wants to serve under him. He's bad fucking luck.
Can it? We've a job to do here. If I can live with it, you can too.
What, you want to kill me, fella? Yeah, in your dreams, lad. In your frickin' dreams. Just give me the order. A walk in Elysian Fields. There's origami. That's a lot of origami. I'm pretty sure anyway. That's origami, right? Yeah, I played Heavy Rain, so I'm pretty sure it's origami. If it's not origami, it probably isn't origami actually. I'm stupid.
House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
Wow. That sure looks like a beauty. I got this gadget whiz putting recording.
Alright. So I'm going to leave this episode of LA Noire right here. Thank you all for watching. First case on the arson desk is pretty much... I'm pretty sure... I was not repaired though. I hope it's not just house fires, even though it probably is. That's what he said. I mean, they can be interesting. Because they don't always have to be accidents. They're mainly murders. Not mainly, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah. We're on our next case of the arson desk. So far, Biggs is kind of on and off in a relationship. Like, he can be helpful or he can be a dick. That's what we'll have to find out in the future. So thank you all for watching. Leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll catch you next episode. Deuces.